England. England is a country which is part of the United Kingdom, an island to the northwest of Europe. Many people get confused between the UK and England. The UK consists of 4 different countries: Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and England. Great Britain, called Great Britain to distinguish it from Brittany in France, consists of Scotland, Wales, and England. This is why the full name of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's the full name. The style of government is a constitutional monarchy, and the Queen of England is the head of the constitutional monarchy. But in reality, the Queen doesn't have any real way power. The country is actually governed by a Prime Minister. The flag. One of the biggest and most recognizable symbols that people generally associate with England is the flag. However, there is a difference between the flag that belongs to England and the Union flag. The Union flag is called the Union Jack when it is sailed on a ship. The Union flag consists of the Scottish, Northern Irish, and English flag all in one. The English flag is actually the St. George's flag, a white flag with a big red cross on it. So as you see here, an English flag, here the Union Jack. St. George is the patron saint of England, and actually the patron saint of many other countries and regions around the world. Typical words used in England. The English use a lot of slang, which varies from region to region, from city to city. For example, if you call someone a peach in Ipswich, you are saying that they are very attractive. But if you call them that in Hampshire, it will mean they're an idiot. Innit is a slang word for isn't it, usually when asking for confirmation of something you just said. For example, that's a lovely coat, innit? Footy is the abbreviation for football. In Australia, it doesn't refer to soccer, but to Australian rules football or rugby league. Mate is the word we use for friend. It is usually used to refer to a male friend and not so much female friends. Blinding, when something is blinding, it means that it is fantastic. So that was a blinding night out. Lovely is a very English word for something which is nice. That was a lovely meal, thank you. A cuppa refers to a cup of tea. Would you like a cuppa? English icons. Houses of Parliament, or Big Ben. This is probably one of the most famous icons that people associate with England. People call the clock tower Big Ben, but in fact, it's the bell inside the tower which is actually called Big Ben. Stonehenge is in the southwest of England. Nobody knows exactly how or when Stonehenge was constructed. The standing stones attract a lot of tourists. Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is famous for its beauty. Its image has been used by many companies and businesses to exploit its English connection. The bridge was once used to store the heads of Henry VIII's ex-wives. The London Underground, or the Tube, is the oldest underground transportation system in the world, and now one of the largest. The shape of its tunnels is what has given it its name, Tube. as you see in the picture. Double-decker buses. These buses have 2 floors, and they're a great way to see the city. Sometimes it's scary when they go round sharp corners, since it feels like the bus is going to tip over. But don't worry, the only time buses ever get tipped over is in the middle of a storm. Glastonbury. Glastonbury is a town in the south of England. It's famous for its mythology and spiritual past. It is believed that the nearby hill is thought to a certain King Arthur's body. More recently, Glastonbury has become one of the biggest rock festivals in the world. In the 60s, it became popular for its free-thinking hippies and the huge amount of space in the countryside. Today, it still has the festival, the most important in England, yet it also maintains its spiritual identity. You see in the picture here a lot of people camping for the festival. Animals of England. Foxes are very notorious in major cities. England is a very green country, and it is very common to have green space nearby. This is the perfect place for foxes, as they have the greenery they need to feel at home and all the food from the streets. Sometimes rubbish bins have turned inside out, and they love to tease other animals, especially pets. Squirrels are small animals that live in the streets and eat lots of nuts, or any food that you give them. They hide their nuts in the ground and are known to have a fantastic memory, as they remember exactly where they buried them. Badgers are black and white animals that usually live in the shrubs or bushes. They are harmless, and it's very rare to see one. Bulldogs. One of the most traditional dogs is the British Bulldog, known for its ugliness and brutal strength. It has become a symbol of patriotic English people. The adder. England doesn't have many snakes, and it only has one which is poisonous. Its name is the adder, and it usually lives in the lowlands, where it is cool and moist. Its jet black scales makes itself easy to identify, and hardly anyone gets bitten by them. Lion. England doesn't actually have any lions running wild, but it's a national symbol. Throughout history, saints, kings, princes, and your average Joe has somehow been remembered for a fight against a dragon or a lion. The England football team has 3 lions on its crest, and the lion also appears on many monarchical and juridical symbols. Birds of England. Pigeon, the pigeon. In London, the city of London in England has the most pigeons in all the cities in the United Kingdom, or in England. Most of the pigeons are in the city centre, where everybody feeds them. It has now been made illegal to feed pigeons because of the problem of the overpopulation of the birds. Robin. Robins are small birds which are usually found in gardens and the countryside. They are brown with dark orange reddish breasts. Blue tit. A blue tit is a very similar size bird to a robin, but the colours are a mixture of grey and various shades of blue, and usually has a shiny blue helmet head. Ravens are black birds, probably the same size as a pigeon. Some of them live in the Tower of London. It is said that if the ravens leave the Tower of London, the walls of the building would fall down. The magpie is a black and white bird that is found in all parts of the country. They have a distinctive warble the way they walk, and they are scavengers. They hunt for things. You need to be careful during nesting season, as they are very protective and they will swoop on you if you venture into their territory. Swoop means come down on you. English sports. You have cricket. This is the national sport of England. Most people learn to play it when they are young. It is played on a large oval field with everybody dressed in white, and the game can last 1 day or up to 5 days. Football is the most popular game in England and is where it was originally invented, as a matter of fact. The game has attracted many foreign players to play for English teams, and now it boasts one of the most competitive leagues in the world. However, the national team hasn't made any real impact on the world stage since 1966. One of the most popular local football teams is Manchester United. Rugby. This rough sport is very popular not only in England, but in the whole of the United Kingdom. Each team has 15 players, and you win by scoring tries, crossing the line with the ball, and kicking the ball between the uprights, the top of the posts. At no time can you pass the ball forward, only backwards. The National Rugby League isn't as big as the football one, but it's gradually becoming more and more popular among younger people. Tennis. Tennis has always been a very popular sport. It used to be exclusive to the higher class. Wimbledon has become one of the most competitive and distinguished Grand Slam competitions in the world, and is the only one played on real grass. Every competitor has to wear the traditional white clothing. English food. England isn't known for its food, but it actually does have a good selection of tasty dishes. Most of them are imported from other countries, especially Italy, Turkey, Greece, and India. Fish and chips. The most traditional dish is fish and chips. It's the most common thing to eat when you're by the seaside. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala is an Indian dish which was invented in England. It is now the most common eaten dish when eating out in a restaurant. Special days. St. George's Day. England doesn't have an Independence Day, but its national day is St. George's Day on the 23rd of April. It's the day that everybody celebrates with marches on the streets, food, and obviously a lot of beer. The Queen's birthday. While not the real date of her birthday, it is celebrated as a national holiday on the 1st or 2nd Saturday of June. Guy Fawkes Night. During the reign of King James, a group of Protestants tried to assassinate him by blowing him up with hundreds of barrels of gunpowder under the Houses of Parliament. They failed, and one captive called Guy Fawkes became famous. Now, every November 5th, the English celebrate the day he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament by setting off fireworks and having big bonfires in their gardens or local parks.